Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to build RAG system from scratch and show exactly where ones break down. To make this concrete, we are going to use real data transcripts from 3Lex Fredman's broadcast, Jensen Huang of Nvidia, Sam Altman of OpenAI, and Elon Musk. And we'll build a simple RAG system first, show how it works, and then hit with question it cannot genuinely answer. So let's get into the code. So before we start with the code, you have to configure your .env file with OpenAI API key. And here we have set RAG chunk size as 500, RAG overlap as 80, RAG top k as 20, and RAG top n as 5. So let's get into the code. So first we have imported the necessary libraries we need. Then we have loaded our .env file. And after that, from the .env file, we have extracted the parameters like RAG chunk size, RAG overlap, RAG top k, and RAG top n. And after that, we define two data classes. SRT blocks holds one subtitle block, its index, start and end timestamp, and text chunk data class is where we actually store and search. It carries the text, timestamps inherited from the SRT, character positions in the full transcript, and the source file name and the token count. And after that, we start with the phase 1, where we read the SRT files, split it on the blank lines, and that's how SRT blocks are separated. For each block, it extracts the index, passes the timestamp arrow notation, and joins the remaining lines as text. Invalid blocks are silently skipped. After phase 1, we start with the phase 2, where we have two steps. First, we define a function which strips noise, transcript credits, bracketed annotation, musical symbols, HTML tags, anything that isn't actual speech. Then we define another function reconstruct full text, which merges consecutive blocks into sentence-level segments by accumulating blocks until it hits the period, question mark, or exclamation mark. This restores the natural sentence flow that SRT format breaks apart. And now, phase 3 does sliding window chunking over those segments. It uses tick token to count the tokens accurately, build chunks up to 500 tokens, and then steps forward while keeping an 80 token overlap between chunks. It also built a character to segment lookup, so every chunk inherits correct timestamps from the original SRTs. Now, phase 4 is dense retrieval. The vector store class traps ChromaDB with BG small embedding model. Documents get a special prefix, represent this sentence for searching, and queries get a different prefix, represent this question. This asymmetric prompting is a BG best practice that improves retrieval accuracy. And then finally, the results are scored by cosine similarity. Now, phase 5 adds a keyword-based layer using BM25, the same algorithm behind classic search engine. It tokenizes chunks by lowercasing and stripping punctuations, then scores them against the query by term frequency. This catches the exact keyword match that semantic embedding sometimes miss. And now phase 6, where we combine both retrieval using reciprocal rank fusion. Instead of merging raw scores, which are on incompatible scales, RRF uses rank position. Dense results get 60% weightage, while sparse gets 40%. Each chunk's final score is the sum of these weightage from each list. The result is a single rank list that benefits from both semantic understanding and keyword precision. And now, phase 7 does a final quality pass. The top 20 fused candidates get scored by a cross encoder, MS Macro Mini LM, which reads the query and each chunk together rather than as a separate embedding. This is slower but more accurate. We keep only the top 5. Now, everything is tied up together in the podcast RAG class. The ingest method runs the full pipeline. Parse, clean, chunk, embed BM25 pipeline for one file with disk caching, so re-uploads are instant. Multiple transcripts are accumulated into single unified BM25 index and ChromaDB collection, so every query searches across all loaded files simultaneously. And then we have the retrieval, which uses hybrid retrieval plus re-ranking across all ingested transcripts. We format our context, and then the load state method restores all of this after a page refresh. And now that we have seen the entire pipeline, let's see it in action. The entire backend is exposed through a Streamlit interface app.py. I'll run it with Streamlit run app.py command and upload the Sam Altman podcast SRT and start asking questions. So I'll open the terminal. So let's run our Streamlit app. So first of all, I'll activate my Conda environment, and that Conda activate. Then I'll run the command Streamlit run app.py. Let's run the command. Okay, so here I'll drop my Sam Altman podcast transcript. I'll click process. After processing the transcript, we can just ask our questions. So our transcript is processed. So now let's ask a simple question like, what does Sam Altman say about the OpenAI board saga and how did it affect him? It should answer the question correctly because this was discussed at a length in a concatenated part of the transcript. So let's see if it answers correctly or not. So it answers like, in the podcast, Sam Altman described the OpenAI saga as definitely the most painful professional experience of my life and the chaotic and shameful and upsetting. Okay, that's correct, and that's what he said in the podcast. And here are the sources it used. Okay, that's correct. So now let's upload other files too, like Elon Musk and Jensen Huang podcast transcript, and let's drop them and ask it to process it. And now I have uploaded 3 different transcript files and I'll cross question it now. So all the transcripts are activated now and that's correct. And now let's ask a different question from a different transcript, and that is, how does Jensen Huang explain why NVIDIA moved from chip scale to rack scale design? And similarly, it should answer correctly because the answer is in the transcript. And Jensen Huang explained that NVIDIA moved from chip scale to rack scale because the problem they are trying to solve is no longer within a single computer that can be accelerated by one GPU. Okay, this is also correct. And now I am going to ask a question which will definitely break this rack system. And the question is, why did Elon Musk, who co-founded OpenAI and originally tried to recruit Ilya away from the Google for his own AI initiative, end up suing OpenAI instead? And what company did he build as his alternative? So I'll hit enter. So our rack system answered this, but look at what it missed. The entire Ilya angle is gone. The recruitment story, the tough battle against DeepMind to get Ilya, who was the LangChain of the OpenAI, exists only in Elon transcript and Rack didn't retrieve it. It also got the lawsuit motivation slightly wrong, framed as he wanted control rather than open source betrayal principle. And now I'm going to ask a question which will definitely break this rack system. So I will ask, why did Elon Musk, who co-founded OpenAI and originally tried to recruit Ilya away from the Google for his own AI initiative, end up suing OpenAI instead? And what company did he build as his alternative? So let's wait for the answer. So we got a partial answer, but look at what it drops entirely. The Ilya angle, the story of Elon recruiting Ilya in a tough battle against DeepMind. Elon recruiting Ilya in a tough battle of DeepMind. It also gets the lawsuit motivation wrong, framing it as Elon wanting control rather than open source betrayal principle that Sam Altman describes. So RAG gave us the half story and got the motivation wrong. Now that's it for this video. In next video we will understand the limitation of this RAG system and see how the graph RAG performs on the. So that's it for this video. In the next video we will understand the limitation of this RAG system.